Off on the race. Good luck, everybody. Hayes likes it harder. Right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Misfits Saturday, Season 1, Round 8. It is the season finale tonight of this 8-round calendar. I'm not sure how interesting this race is going to be. We've only got 9 people racing tonight. I was just eating my dinner when we were doing the sprint race, but I can tell you the starting order of the main race in just a second. There we are. For those that are joining off of Misfits live stream, hello. Let me just put the link out there. It's going to be a quiet race tonight. You're going to hear a lot of boring facts, but I shall try and make it enjoyable. We are starting the race at 8:42. The time is currently 8:49. Let's run down through the grid, starting in P1. Amy Hoxer in the kick Sauber. Following on from that, we have Slayer, who had a very good sprint race. Jan, who had an even better sprint race, showing off some very strong pace around here. Following off from that, we have Hayes, who's actually managed to complete a race for the first time in about 4 rounds, throwing some shade at the British Baldy there. Following on from that, we have the American of Zach, who is, after this race, the Saturday reigning world champion. Following on from that, we have a giant stick in the McLaren, Julius Caesar in the Williams, Edin and Hijab both having a slightly worse for wear sprint race. Nonetheless, the grid spread out quite evenly. Lots of gaps, so we might be in for a bit of a snooze fest tonight, but let's see what happens in 2 minutes. Lovely. A bit of a traffic update for all you travellers. Apparently a car has just went camping on the M2, so please do expect delays if you are heading towards London from Kent, because that's how boring this race is going to be. We're going to turn into a bit of a radio station. Anyways, let's see. We should be starting the race anytime soon. I'm struggling for things to say today. Only 9 drivers tonight, so that's a bit wank, to be honest. YouTube, please demonetize me. But let's see what happens. It could be interesting. They could all come together. Turn 1. Any time today, drivers. That'd be quite nice. I'm quite keen to get this ball rolling. I made a mistake at the start, which cost us a little bit of time, but That don't matter, does it? We're all one big happy family here. Let's see, we could do the Daily Wordle halfway through this race. You don't know. Could be stretching at things to say. I have got a nice little sheet of some fun facts about Bahrain to read through tonight, so that is also something else to bore you sports fans as the cars go around the track at some point soon. Hello to whoever just joined. Welcome to the world's deadest stream. No thank you. I do not want to accept your cookies today. No sir. There appears to be a bit of a hold up. Let's just see what everybody's up to. Oh, I can hear the timer. We are starting. Okay, so we go down all the cars on the grid. 5 red lights, and away we go for the Saturday finale. And it is Amy Oxer who has a good start. Tell you who has going onto the grass there. Jan sweeping through, Slayer up to first, Hayes up to third, Zach up to third. Going 3 wide into turn 1 there. Hey, little tap from Hayes, and who is that? That's a giant stick who's got a little love tap there. Hayes back up into P3. This is looking like quite a good race. They are going to go wheel to wheel into turn 4 right now. Looking at Jan and Slayer staying side by side. Is it going to be contact? No, they keep it relatively clean. Hayes is going to have that time advantage on the medium compound side. It's very, very, very scrappy at the back of the pack here. Back of the biggest pack we've ever seen. Hayes, Zach even looking like he's getting his first track limits warning there. Amy making some moves to get away back on up the field on the giant stick. Hayes locking up in. Oh my god, it's not Hayes, it's Zach. I am still in Friday mode. Zach locking up into the hairpin there. Going side by side with Hayes though. Hayes is going to try and stick it around the inside of this corner. Is he going to make something work? No, he is not. He is going to wait for a straight, I imagine. But Amy is going to want a piece of the action. Look at how clean she's keeping that. Is she going to go into the back of Zach? No, she's not. Keep it clean. That recharge fight is on though. Hayes will be sticking to the back of her to try and get a good run out of this corner to maybe get back on the straight as well. That big child height is back on. But bit of contact there, keeping it very rough, but he's going to have that double slipstream, and he's not going to sit in the slipstream. Is he going to get that move done? A giant stick also looking like he's going to take a look. Following Hayes through, going for a move on Hayes. What a bit of a cheeky move there. Doesn't make it stick. Hayes runs away. More importantly, Hijab having a very good race start in P3. In that very, very, very nice looking pass, which looks even better going into this following 2026 season. Jan sticking to the back of Slayer. Slayer leading the race. Amy sticking to the back of Hijab. Hayes, 1.8 second gap. Can he score enough points today to nab P3 in the championship after me? Could Edin score enough points today to nab P3 in the championship off of me today? We've got 27 laps to decide laps. Jan looking like he's a bit closer to the back of Slayer. Hijab even closer to the back of Jan. Amy on the charge, just as close to the back of Jan, just as close to the back of Amy. Oh my god, man can't speak tonight clearly. Slayer setting 131.2 from Amy, a whole second faster than what Slayer just posted. But making a move on Hijab there then. Is Hijab gonna look to make a move back? What a nice switchback from him there, but Amy is going to be alongside again, making that move stick around the outside, using all the track she possibly can there. Hijab picking up a 10-second penalty for corner cutting there. I'm not too sure what went on there. That was a bit strange, wasn't it? But nevertheless, yeah, that was really weird. Amy now up into P3. Hijab going wide into that corner. I don't know whether he's got a bit of damage to his car or something. Looks like his front wing is all intact, but yeah, got no idea what that was about there. But he is going to have the DRS on Amy. Amy might be a bit sitting duck going into this start-finish straight. Jan opting for the clean air, not the slipstream on Slayer. Like getting very close to the back of Slayer. He might want to just make a move in the next few laps or so to get that clean air so he can look after his tyres a bit more. Renaud has got his car set up really, really well tonight. I hope the mic volume is okay. Let me see if I can turn it up actually. Mic adjustment. Whatever that is. Oh, look. Yeah. Right, we've adjusted the mic audio just a little bit more, so you might be able to just hear me just a little bit better, as I am only speaking tonight. I'm probably not going to shout at any point, so perhaps I'll even turn the mic up just a little bit more. Anyways, the race looks like it has settled down for the time being, but actually, I say that, the giant stick is looking to make a move on Hayes. Hayes, falling back a little bit, will be making a move on Edin, who has just made up a few positions up from 7th. It's amazing the things I miss as the world's worst commentator, it seems. Look at that position change. Hijab still up 5 positions, but carrying a 10-second time penalty. Next round of pit stops. Julius Caesar picking up 3-second time penalty for track limits. Good old track limits. Amy sitting nicely in the slipstream with that Yanda. Sticking right to the edge of the track. I wonder what the reason is for that. Perhaps it's a bit of an esports line. But Amy, Slayer, and Jan all working together, I presume, to try and break away from the pack a little bit. Hijab will be on the charge though. He will be wanting to break away as much as he can from the rest of the grid, because he's going to have a 10-second time penalty to serve at the next round of pit stops, which is just a little bit inconvenient for him, but nevertheless, he hasn't retired, which means he is not going to give up tonight. Let's get rid of that. Let's see, everybody on the medium compound of tyre, but Zach, who may be opting for the one stop and favouring the medium tyres in the second stint. Oh, I never knew that one existed. Anyways, let's chuck that lap day up to wrong. Let's chuck the full track map. Julius Caesar falling behind. Like only 6 seconds, but it looks a lot more than that on the track minimap there. Bahrain, favourite track for quite a few of the drivers, but we might be about to see some moves that Jan moving out of the way. Just try and break that slipstream a little bit. But Amy's not too worried because she has the slipstream advantage on Slayer as well, so she's probably in the best position to make a move this lap. Jan still within half a second, 0.4 seconds now. He's probably not going to make a move just yet, but it's shaping up to be a very, very interesting battle between our top 3. Julius Caesar picking up another 3-second time penalty. Probably going to be a race to forget for him, but it is the last race, and you know, regardless, he's going to score a few points for Williams. Jan making a little bit of a mistake going on there, but will it just be enough for Slayer to break that DRS? No, it will not. He can work on closing it up if he keeps it clean. He's driving a very, very exceptional race right now. Anyways, let's ride on board with Edin, who seems to be closing the gap up just a little bit. Hayes sticking to the back of him, a giant stick sticking to the back of it, and the world champion, Zach, who I believe is running a special helmet for tonight, falling back just a little bit more. Perhaps the hard compound tyres, not the compound to be starting. Perhaps he's struggling to get heat into them. Amy making a move on Yan now, before the DRS zone. Yan sticking it a bit far down the outside, but could he possibly make a move on her? And into straight, no, he's not going to be back far enough. I wonder, Edin Edin coming in for his first pit stop. Let's just watch a nice pit stop there. Very, very nice. Be glad to see the back of their own wheel covers on the 2026 cars, which no doubt we will be seeing in the next few months. Amy all over the back of Slash. She will probably be looking to make a move sometime soon on him. Sporting a very nice pink helmet, pink and black. Might I just add, can't forget the black. There is a saying somewhere in somebody's notebook somewhere. What am I going on about? Let's see if Amy can make a move on Slayer coming down here. No, he saved up just enough battery to fend her off. Right. The bit you've all been waiting for. Whoa, a giant stick. Very, very close to the back of Hayes. Could he possibly make a move coming into the start-finish straight? But I know Hayes is struggling to harvest energy around this track, which is far from ideal. Let me just very quickly divert your attention towards some key facts of the country of Bahrain. It's a small island nation in the Persian Gulf, the third smallest in Asia. It is home of 33 natural islands, but home to over 50 artificial islands. It's not known for too much in the world, but it has got the Tree of Life, a 400-year-old tree growing in the desert with no apparent water source. What could be going on there? Perhaps some black magic. Can we get some of that black magic to make this race a little bit more exciting tonight, I wonder? It is home to an ancient civilization dating back to the Bronze Age, leaving over 100,000 burial mounds. Can you imagine that? It would be like a stroll through Caspians. Probably its most interesting fact. It's, I don't know if you guys knew this, but it's home to the Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix. You never would have guessed it. At the Bahrain International Circuit, which hosts a race annually. It's also home to a WEC race. They do race the Grand Prix layout and the outer layout, which we did see. Which was George Russell's breakthrough race for Mercedes. He very nearly took a race win, but now let's see. Amy is all over the back of Slayer. Will she make a move going into this hairpin? Let's see. Does she? Very, very neatly going around the outside. Can Slayer answer back? Are his tyres in fit enough condition to answer going down here? But she has got the DRS, which means she is going to put away quite a bit there. She must be running some quite low winds. Here's another one for you all. The name Bahrain translates to two seas. The country has got a very high literacy rate with free education for children. You cannot get much better than that, given the morals of some Middle Eastern countries. We're getting a bit too political in this chat now. Let's see. The Bahrain Grand Prix was first hosted here in 2004. I do not know how true that is. Let me just fact check that. When was the first Bahrain Grand Prix? Okay, yes, it was held on April 4th, 2004, and the winner was the one and only Michael Schumacher. It's went through a little bit of change since then, given that we now race on a new layout since 2010, which is arguably slightly better layout than it was. Slayer looking to make a move on Amy there. Can he make it stick? No, he cannot, but he's going to have the DRS going on this straight, but Amy is going to be full deploy. Jan is hanging on to the back of them. A nice 5-second gap forming there between him and third, but Slayer runs deep. Can Jan have a little bit of a sniff? No, he cannot. The top 3 fight right now is quite interesting. We should in a minute be seeing the cars make their first stops. Jan running a little bit wide there. No doubt it's going to be a track limit warning for the Nord, driving that very, very, very lovely looking Mercedes. Might I just add. Anyways, let's see what the next few laps have in store. Jan, very close to the back of Slayer there, but he's going to have to be at least 0.4 seconds away to make any form of move. But, having said that, Amy has now broke Slayer's DRS, so we might see a move made on him this very lap. That rear wing back, it's going to open now. And no doubt Jan is going to be full deploy to see if he can try and make a move on Slayer. He's not quite close enough, but setting him up quite nicely for the second DRS straight. Look at the blistering on that front left tyre, that is absolutely ridiculous. We have a little sniff at his tyre temps. His tyre temps are actually very, very good. Running very deep into that corner there. Perhaps catching Slayer a bit off guard, but nonetheless keeping it clean. A giant stick. Very, very close to the back of Hayes right now. Also sporting a really, really nice helmet there. See, we're on to helmet talk. But I'm finding enough to talk about in the first 11 laps. So, let's see. Do I have any other key facts about Bahrain here? Well, I do. Did you know that Bahrain is the biggest importer of alligators from the Everglades? There we are. But you never knew that. We were only in Miami yesterday. We moved quickly. It was a quick flight and we had to move all the cars very, very swiftly. But, I mean, we made it here to Bahrain in one piece, didn't we? So, yeah. Let's have a quick scroll on Facebook, assuming that we're not missing much. But Jan going in for his first stop, presumably trying to see if the undercut will work on the circuit. The grid now separating themselves, very nice, but very clean pit stop for him there. Quite a short-ish pit lane, but let's see if that undercut will work, because he's going to have that time advantage for at least another lap or two. And perhaps the right time's coming, considering everybody separating from each other just a little bit. A giant stick now falling back from Hayes, and the grid seems to be separating itself quite nicely, which doesn't make my life very easy. Perhaps we'll do some traffic updates in a little bit. Today is sadly my last race commentating. I'm not going to say I haven't enjoyed it, but I'm not going to say I have enjoyed it, because I'd much rather be in the action, being that 10th car tonight. But we will be back in the action next week. But could Eden possibly make a little bit of a move on Jan here? He's on quite old hard tyres. So I would presume he is doing the 2-stopper. He's had 1 stop already, and they are 5 laps old. Hijab in for his first stop. The giant stick picking up a penalty for 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. That would be slightly annoying for him. But more importantly, Hijab will be serving that 10-second time penalty, which will be making him mutter just a little bit, but it might not matter too much in the long run. Edin actually closing that gap up to Jan quite nicely. There will be, I'm sure, a lot of alls from Jan right now in the Discord voice chat, and hopefully everybody's having a bit of a better time in there than I am right now commentating, because looking at the gaps, there's going to be a shortage of things to talk about soon. It'd be nice if the grid was a bit fuller for these races, but we do keep community at our core, we keep ourselves little, and we're all friends in this league. So if you happen to be some random watching, leave a comment saying that you'd like to join Misfits, and I'm sure we can sort you out. That recharge light is on from Jan. Perhaps he's getting a little bit worried about Eden, but Amy comes in for her pit stop, not picking up a 10-second penalty like she did twice yesterday in Miami. I think it was twice at least. Hayes in for his stop, but will Jan make that undercut work? But he's just picked up a 3-second time penalty, which will make him mutter just a little bit more. Let's see if he can make that undercut on Amy work. Is he going to come out in front? Yes, he is. Which means he will come out a little bit further ahead of Slayer, as well as his medium compound tyres start to die off just a little bit. But as we saw in the sprint, as I saw in the sprint race, as you didn't see in the sprint race, Slayer was very, very good at conserving his tyres throughout 10-lap sprint race. So there is no reason why he can't replicate it right now, but I'm sure they are probably crying out for a pit stop right now. Zach, who still hasn't stopped, so them hard tyres starting to come into play just maybe a little bit more than they were a few laps ago. Not very blistered, but he's not too worried about race results tonight. I'm sure he would like to finish the race with a good result, but it does not matter too much for the American driver, who has had an absolutely stellar Saturday season. Slayer now in for his only stop, I'd like to imagine. Giant stick picking up 3-second penalty, which will be making his race just a little bit worse. This race might get a little bit shaken up with penalties now. Edin still sticking to the back of Jan, and more importantly, coming out quite way ahead of Slayer. Jan, after the pit stops, will be provisional P1 unless Edin can make a move on him. It looks like he's going to make a move on him, side by side, making that move before the corner very, very cleanly. But let's just bear in mind that Jan has got that tyre advantage. That tyre's about 4 laps younger, so he's going to have a grip to keep on the back of him, at least through this middle sector. But looks like there's already just a tiny little bit of graining on that front right, but that could also just be a shine of the tyre wearing off. Is he going to look to make a move down this DRS straight, or is he going to wait until the big one? Let's see. He's going to make a move. List that huge grip advantage. That overtake button is on. Very, very nice move from the north on Edin there, but he will not be wanting to fight, because I can see something uranium green on my track map that is looking a little bit interesting right now, and that is Amy now onto the back of Edin. Let's see if she can go for a double overtake this lap. Perhaps she can't. Look at that battery, very, very, very worn down, but Let's see. Let's watch this from the back. Edin making a very, very nice move onto Jan. It's going to be a bit of tossing and turning. Can Jan go for the switchback? No, he cannot, but he can clap back at Edin on this straight if he's got enough battery to do so. Alright, that recharge right is on. Trying Edin, pushing him round the outside, but again, that grip advantage, can he do anything there? They're going to be going side by side through the middle sector, but Edin yielding. Not wanting to waste too much time, and that is Hijab retiring in the pits. He will have had enough of tonight, which is a bit of a shame. But perhaps if he's watching, he would like to be dragged in to doing some commentating as well. I don't quite know how that would work, but let's see. What did I miss? I missed a lot of traps into the predicament right there. She has made a move on Edin. Edin slowing down to let Slayer through there. I presume that will be for championship position. Quite a unhappy Hijab. Perhaps we ought to get him in for a retirement interview, but first let me just how to get other people's voices in the stream. Right, let me see. Broadcast. I can't see any options to do much here. Again, it sounded like a bomb going off in my house. I don't quite know what's going on tonight. Let's watch a quick YouTube video to see if we can drag people in. The build shaping up just a little bit. Edin getting back past Slayer. Jan onto the back of Amy yet again. Very, very, very good. Let me see if Jan, if Hijab wants to do a mid-race interview. Yeah, and pick up another 3 seconds worth of time penalties. Sorry, I was just sidetracked doing something. Trying to get Hijab in to do a mid-race interview. Amy diving into the pits there, pick up a 10-second time penalty and retiring in the pits. This race is now shaping up to become a little bit interesting. Jan now leading the race after Amy retires. um, which is a bit of a shame. Zach up another position. Jan, the Nord, will be looking to gain 6 seconds over Edin. He was displaying some very, very, very strong pace in the sprint race. Let's see what he can do. Edin though, this is looking like a Ferrari day out today, however. I'm just trying to organise a mid-race interview with Hijab. But it's not looking good, Brev. Is it? Open a YouTube. Okay, he's found it. Right, let's drag Hijab in for an interview. This is going to be really gimpy and weird, but let's have a look. Hello, Hijab. Can you hear me, brother? Oh, left. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Do you want to elaborate what happened in the early stage of that race? Because on my screen there was a lot of glitching. It did not look very pretty, and then all of a sudden you had a 10-second penalty. Tell us your perspective. Yeah. Yeah. Which affected your race just a tiny little bit. That is a shame, isn't it? Not the way you wanted to finish the season up, I'm sure. No, well, yeah. It's quite a boring race, to be honest. Yeah, that's one that matters. This is a quiet little league. Yeah. Oh dear. Not looking good. No. Yeah. As am I. Right, well, thank you very much for that very brief interview. I'm going to get back to doing my job, and hopefully that actually went through on the stream and I wasn't speaking like an absolute schizophrenic maniac. Um, Thank you, mate. I'll speak to you after the race. Right, so hopefully we all heard that from Hijab being dragged into a mid-race interview because there's not a lot going on, but Slayer is all over the back of Eden. We could be about to watch a very interesting last few laps. Can Jan put out a bit of a gap from the Ferraris? Let's find out going into the last 6 laps of this race. It's such a shame that Nord has picked up some time penalties because we could, but it does not mean that we are about to see some very good quality racing. Eden going side by side with Jan going into the hairpin. Can Jan answer back? Let's ride on board with the Nord. No, he cannot. Eden executing a very, very clean move. Looking like this win might be his this race. That rear wing flap is going to be open, but we just need to remember that Eden has not stopped. He is going to be at a tyre disadvantage of 5 laps. What a shocker. But looking like them hard compound tyres have got quite a bit of life left into them, putting out half a second over the last 2 sectors. But Jan is going to have all of the grip out of the corners that count. But Slayer sticking to the back of, looking to make a move, coming down this back straight here. Probably not going to be close enough, but Eden showing that he's got pace on them slightly more worn hard compound tyres. But let's see what happens. Jan is in overtake mode, but he's not going to be looking to make the move until at least the very end of this straight. But let's ride on board with these 3 because this is where the action is. This is where the action is going to be for the last 5 laps of this race, coming in to the close of our season. But I do not think Jan is going to be close enough to make a move on the Ferrari of Eden. But is Slayer going to be close enough? Is he going to get later on them brakes? No, he's not. But Jan closes up that gap nicely for the next straight, but doesn't look like he is going to be close enough. But if he can just stick to the back. But Slayer goes through for a move on Jan, and you can just see the white of that hat of Hayes, who is now 6.2 seconds away from Jan, which does mean that Hayes is in very, very good contention of scoring a podium. This race is now 5.6 seconds away. All of a sudden, he comes into contention, pulling in a massive second to Jan. Could he become a bit of a contender for a race victory in these closing laps? Let's see what he can do, because I know it is going to be elbows out from every driver here. Hayes closing in by another second nearly. What is he doing? He's absolutely flying. Holy shit. Anyways, this could be really, really interesting. They're all going to have DRS apart from Eden, obviously. Slayer, Eden, just let him. Slayer go, but Jan makes a move on Eden. Is he going to make a move on Slayer? No, he is not. Eden looking to make the switchback. His tyres will just be dying just a little bit more by now. And the rear wing flap's going to open. Is Eden going to try and make a move here? Yes, he is. They go 3 wide. Just a little bit. Jan slips through. Can Slayer get the switchback? Yes, he can. And Eden also slips through. What a few laps we're having right now. Hayes also closing up quite nicely, nearly within 3.5 seconds. This is absolutely crazy. I've got no words right now. This is going to be really, really really good racing. Wow. Hayes is absolutely flying on them tyres. I don't know where he's found this pace from. Let's see what happens coming down the start-finish straight. Is Slayer just going to let Edin through, or could that possibly cost them? Could that possibly risk them letting Jan past like we saw again? Jan now dropping back quite a bit. Them Ferraris are going to want to take off just a little bit, because even closer now is Hayes in that Haas. He's got 3 laps to close up some serious time, and he seems to be finding that deploy in all of the right places. Jan now falling behind just a little bit. The 2 Ferraris swapping on that straight, and it's looking like Edin is going to let Slayer disappear just a little bit, because he needs to find a 3-second gap. And with Hayes closing up, who knows? Hayes could also take the race win. Let's just very quickly switch that gap to the leader. Hayes nearly within 3 seconds there. Oh no, actually it's a second place. Sorry, I'm ignoring Edin. What a drive Edin and Hayes are having. They're keeping it both very clean, and they are closing. Edin is just cruising, because this victory is looking like it will be his. Jan falling back a little bit, but he has got the DRS back on Edin. This lap, Hayes now within 2 seconds of Jan. This is really shaping up to be something right now. Slayer just disappearing a little bit more, but will he keep Edin in that DRS to disappear just a little bit more, or will Slayer be getting antsy because of the Mercedes of Jan lurking very, very, very nicely behind Slayer? Slayer now breaking that DRS to Edin. Edin, might I just say, is driving exceptionally well on them seriously warm hard tyres. He's done very, very well to make that stint last, and that huge undercut has saved him an awful amount of time. Jan now within 0.8 seconds of Edin, which could put Edin in a bit of a vulnerable position if Jan makes a move. In a vulnerable position from who, you ask? The man who is now just 2 seconds behind Jan, Hayes, who has closed up so quickly in these closing laps. I cannot believe the race for the win we are having right now. Slayer, who has now broken that DRS, so I presume is going to try and disappear. 3 seconds up the road now. Jan now struggling a lot. He must be running some quite low wings. But now, who is that? Just a second behind Jan. It is Hayes. Let's see. He's got 2 laps to make an absolutely audacious move, or at least attempt to make a move for the race win. Could Jan hold him up for the championship points? But I don't think he will. He will be much better off just letting Hayes through, because he's going to miss out on them points with them 6 seconds worth of penalties. But Slayer now pulling out 2 seconds. Hayes looking very squiggly. Let's ride on board with Hayes for these last few laps, because I feel like he is going to be the man from Zach, running a very, very clean, and Hayes absolutely loses it. Out of a hairpin there. He will not be very happy with that. poor bloke. He was having such a good last few laps and he was absolutely flying. He will be gutted, but the man who will be even happier is Jan, because that secures him P3 unless Hayes can drag that gap down to 6 seconds in a lap, which I don't think he will be able to. But might Jan be able to make a last second move on Edin? I don't know what the benefit would be from that, but let's see what happens in the closing stages of this race. We are on the final lap. Nobody has been lapped. This is it for the Saturday season. A poor turnout tonight, but it has not been that poor quality of racing we have had. Very, very good race here tonight in Bahrain under the lights, as it should be for the final race. Will Jan just be looking to make a statement to Edin saying, yes, I am quicker than you. I might have 6 seconds worth of time penalties, but I am quicker than you. Let's see what happens down this straight. Does Jan make a move? No, he does not, but let's ride on board because he is just in range. Slack picking up another 3 seconds worth of time penalties. He's really, really, really going to come down. Now, the Brit crosses the line on track, but it is Edin who will take the last victory in Season 1, Saturday 2. He will be very, very happy with that drive, and what a drive from the man in the Ferrari. After that, we have got Slayer, and Jan securing his first podium, and probably a very, very annoyed Hayes dropping into fourth, but all eyes are on the man who has kept it clean this entire race. It is Zach who comes across the line to take the Saturday Championship. Well done, Zach. Following on from that, we have got a giant stick with a few seconds worth of time penalties, and at the back we have got Julius Caesar. But well done, Zach. You have kept it clean all season. You have showed up where it matters. You've been fast where it matters, and you have secured that championship. Just coming down straight now to round off the season, Julius Caesar with a P6. Thank you for watching tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a pleasure being your commentator for the final time. As we watch the final podium celebrations. Two Ferrari drivers taking a 1-2, but Jan taking that P3 spot again. It's going to be a tough decision for driver of the day today, but that is not down to me to vote, that is down to the drivers. Thank you very much for tuning in to again some very, very mundane commentary again, but let's round off the top three. We have got Edin in first in the Ferrari, the two Ferrari boys, Slayer and Edin, taking home a 1-2. What a race from Edin, starting from P8. Following on from that, we have Jan in the Mercedes, my teammate, showing that he has got some serious pace around the Bahrain International Circuit. Zach, the world champion, coming in P4. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I could have sworn it was Hayes, a giant stick in P5. The two McLarens finishing alongside each other, very apt. Julius Caesar pushed up into P6. Hayes P7 and Amy and Hijab with a DNF. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching tonight. It has been a pleasure.